In the state's largest school district have just 7 days to decide if they're going to send their kids back to campus full-time or enroll in virtual learning from home. Well, the district told our Caitlin Ross that they had to set a deadline so that they can have a clear picture of what school will look like for their students.
So much planning is going into this. Bus schedules, class sizes, which teachers will be recording lessons. Gwinnett says they needed to set a deadline so they could get the ball rolling.
The situation changes on a daily basis, if not more frequently.
Right now, Gwinnett County Schools are scheduled to return August 5th, but Gwinnett District spokesperson Bernard Watson says that's not set in stone.
As we move closer to that date, we are in constant contact with our health partners.
Well, some parents expressed frustration that they have to make a decision about their child's education with so much uncertainty about what could happen next with Georgia's coronavirus numbers. Watson says the district needs to know so they can figure out their plans.
A lot of what is going to happen in the classroom has not even been determined yet because we haven't heard back from our parents.
11 Alive has heard from teachers as well, worried about teaching both in-person and online courses. Watson says they're still figuring that out too.
Some live teaching and some recorded teaching will be going on, right? But some teachers may have to do both.
One thing they're sure of, though, is that the virtual classes will be taught by Gwinnett County teachers. Some smaller districts are contracting out recorded classes to a subscription service that would provide lessons to the districts. But Gwinnett says it's not doing that.
We're going to do everything local.
Watson says he understands that these are hard decisions, and they'll have to make a lot of adjustments along the way.
This is not an optimal or ideal situation. I don't think anybody would want us to be in this situation. We are doing our best.
Well, the district is not requiring masks. He says they'll provide 3 washable masks to every student and teacher, and the district is strongly encouraging people to wear them. They'll also have hand sanitizer and one-way hallways. But in terms of class size, that's going to depend on how many kids return to campus.
You know what, Natisha, I think this is really going to be difficult, especially for those kids who have to learn remotely, that don't have all the resources. They don't have a laptop, they don't have the technology. Maybe mom and dad, they have to go to work, right? So they can't be there to monitor them. So that's the ones that I really feel for, those parents and those children who just don't have everything they need to be able to be in school at home.
Yeah, it's certainly a tough situation for the parents, the students, as well as the school districts as they try to figure this out before classes start. All right.